Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Abby Ng, reporting for CNN News. Today, I will be interviewing members from the Office of Fentanyl Overdose Prevention regarding the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021. These public health experts will discuss some key details as well as their opinions on the bill. Joining me are fentanyl overdose prevention specialists Skylar Schlicht, Peter Felt, and Dara Walsh. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you so much for having us.
So my first question for you is, why should people support this bill?
That's a great question. So fentanyl addiction and overdoses has been a growing concern over the past few years. People should support the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 because it will help increase awareness about the dangers of fentanyl overdoses and will help create programs to help people with struggling addictions. This bill also provides support and funding for many opioid overdose prevention programs, which will ultimately greatly reduce the risk of overdose and help people learn how to help in a situation where somebody may be experiencing an opioid overdose.
You mentioned that this bill focuses on increasing efforts to reduce fentanyl addiction and overdoses. How are these efforts different from current programs, and what new interventions will be introduced?
So the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 will enhance drug surveillance by increasing the collection of fentanyl data from both medical examiners and drug treatment admissions. This bill will also introduce telehealth for substance use disorder treatment. It will host educational interventions, and it will provide mandated training for federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies about how to detect and handle fentanyl. These prevention efforts will greatly reduce the risk of overdoses caused by fentanyl.
Thank you. Do you believe that the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 will decrease fentanyl use across the country?
I believe Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 will help educate people and allow them to make safer decisions when using opioids. If more people are educated about the dangers of fentanyl, this will discourage them from using it. When weighing the benefits and the risks, people will realize that using fentanyl is not worth it. It will also put preventative measures into place, which will decrease the number of accidental overdoses by drugs laced with fentanyl.
So, according to the DEA, illegally manufactured fentanyl was the primary cause of overdose deaths, rising 55.6%. This bill focuses on research and education and overdose prevention. So do you think that this funding would be better used targeting the illegal drug trade?
So, as mentioned earlier, fentanyl addiction and overdoses are a growing concern. But if we can use resources for intervention programs and education, people will become more cautious and the dangers of fentanyl use will be more well known. However, if resources are only used to target the illegal drug trade, people may just find other ways to make, sell, and buy illegal drugs, including fentanyl. In a study conducted in 2020, fentanyl test strips were used as an overdose prevention method among female sex workers. This study found that the female sex workers were very open and accepting of this prevention method, and that using fentanyl test strips did reduce the risk of overdose among these workers, which emphasizes how effective prevention tactics can be when trying to combat fentanyl in the opioid epidemic.
Okay, I have one final question for you. How will you ensure that the opioid treatment program is easily accessible?
So if the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 is passed, telehealth will be offered as an option for opioid treatment. By using telehealth, individuals who live in remote locations or may not have the time to go to an in-person opioid treatment, and those who do not have access to transportation will be able to access these resources. Fentanyl addiction and overdoses are a growing concern in America, and by offering programs that can be easily accessed by everyone, there is a much better chance of reducing the negative impact that fentanyl is having on individuals.
Thank you. Do you have any last comments?
Yeah, so in summary, fentanyl addiction and overdose is a growing concern. Prevention strategies are proven to greatly reduce this risk of overdose, and the Stop Fentanyl Act of 2021 will help put the necessary prevention strategies into place.
Well, I appreciate all your input and wish you luck with this bill. Thank you all for taking the time out of your days and allowing me to interview you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For having us.